The path of the righteous man
Yeah.
is beset on all sides of the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of the evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger to those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. Bryce, for 3 weeks now,
The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa! Can they catch him? No! Donovan Edwards again. The down.
Alrighty, welcome back to episode 17 of the Scarlet and Blue Show. Garrison, do you notice my jersey?
yeah, you know notice my necklace?
No, you acknowledge what I said. Don't just change subject.
What about your jersey? I
It's
didn't even know he was in the NFL.
It's a Bears jersey. Obviously, it is the symbolism is twofold. One,
I know, I get it.
Harbaugh's back. That's the first one. The second one is the Bears are in dire need of a quarterback. So this
And
is
an
also
O-line
my
and a
old
defense.
team, mostly quarterback, but
Oh, okay.
we'll talk. All the more reason to just not draft a Buckeye quarterback. But that's neither here nor there because that's NFL talk. If you want NFL talk, there's other shows. You want Ohio State, Michigan talk, you're at the right spot. So, Garrison, week 3's in the books.
Yep.
Both our teams are 3-0. You guys have a monstrous one coming up, which we'll talk about next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But my team took care of business. 25-point victory. Defense looked rock solid, statistically speaking. Defense is the first I don't want to call it the first team defense because they run.
I'm here
With so much. Yeah, okay, he's doing this thing again.
No, just turning you up.
So all that to say, on a more serious note, disappointing performance from the Wolverines on Saturday. From certain Wolverines, I should say. Bowling Green is not a good football team. So, and they were on their third string quarterback, I think, by either the second quarter, if not earlier. So again, took care of business there. But the elephant in the room, or at least the elephant in this room, is number 9's performance, which, knowing you, I'm sure you have nothing to say about it. And you'll just let it go. But remember who I am, and I'm not like those Michigan Twitter trolls that you're dealing with. So I'll say my piece. Tough night for JJ, and then I'll let you go on your Stephen A. Smith shtick. 3 picks is a bad look. I think Jim Harbaugh nailed it in his press conference today. It was a guy who was nearly perfect the first 2 games. Expectations were high. I think the team as a whole just looked unfocused. They looked like they were coasting through this, and they weren't sharp. We can talk about those 3 picks. The first one was, it was obviously a bad throw because you're not even seeing the defender. But if you go back, you can look at that tape and you can see that AJ Barner, the tight end, did not sit in his spot where he should have been, which allowed his defender to back off, coast to get the pick. That was the first one. The second one, it was a bit of a prayer, a bit of a heave, not a highly statistical achieving throw, but Cornelius Johnson didn't even turn his shoulder, so at least he could have batted that down. So bad throw, but also the wide receiver didn't look sharp on that. Go watch the tape. We'll put the clip up here. Well, he just didn't even turn around.
It's okay. I'm
he also missed Roman Wilson on that pass as well, who was wide open. So it was a bad miss. That was a terrible pick. And then his third pick, because we're just going to talk about these all now, because I'm sure you got a whole thing for that. But his third pick, I don't know what Donovan Edwards was doing. It was like one of the running backs didn't even pick up a block.
That was Blake
Caused
that missed the
JJ
block.
What?
That was Blake that missed that block.
It was Blake. That's right. It was Blake that missed the block, and it caused JJ to just throw up a heave. And again, I think that was him trying to do too much. So Jimmy called it out today in the press conference. He's smart enough to know it was a bad game, but he's also smart enough to know that he can learn from it. And Rutgers is on the clock. I've got other comments, but I'll let you comment on my QB1.
I want to read something to you, Bryce, if you don't mind.
Nope.
This comes from Jules from the movie Pulp Fiction.
Oh, wow. What a pull. Okay, I'm excited.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides of the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of the evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger to those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. Bryce, for 3 weeks now, for 2 weeks, I had to listen to that bull crap from all you Michigan fans about JJ McCarthy. About him being, I had people telling me he was the best quarterback statistically in the nation. I heard people calling Kyle what do they call him? Mid-cord. And then right on cue. And I told people, how long do you expect this offense to struggle? Mind you, from week 1 to week 2, Ohio State got better on offense, especially, and Kyle did. And then our coach goes out and says, no, he's the guy. He's the starter, which you could imagine, Bryce, that puts a level of confidence behind and like puts a battery in his back, makes him more confident. Wouldn't you agree with that? Knowing that you don't have anybody breathing over your shoulder, would you agree?
No, big time.
And he goes out there, Bryce. It is Western Kentucky. It's Western Kentucky. But I heard you guys just bloviate about JJ against nobody's two. So please let me go ahead and do it. My God, we have the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Oh, my gosh.
And hey. And when Ryan Day is your coach, Bryce, you are allowed to say that. You are allowed to say that. And then right on cue, Bryce, and by the way, everyone, I was at the Ohio State West Kentucky game. Went with my dad and my beautiful nephew Marquis. That was his first Ohio State game. It was a great experience. But right on cue, as we're eating burgers at Thurman's, I see JJ McCarthy go out and lay an egg like that.
2 touchdowns, too. Not an egg.
I think his QBR was less than 11. Bryce, and then the funny thing was, Bryce, going in like after that, you know what Kyle McCord did? Passed up JJ, passed up Alar and QBR, ranked 9th in the nation. Look, man, and this isn't to say, listen, let's be honest here. It's not to say that Kyle's the best quarterback. This is a 3-horse race. This is really a 3-horse race in the Big Ten for the best quarterback in the Big Ten. There's a 3-horse race.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you're even saying that, but continue.
But please don't get it twisted. Only one of those 3 coaches has a history, while he's been at Michigan, has a history of actually producing great quarterback play in college. Only 2 of them. I'm sorry, only 1 of them. The other 2, they don't. And oh man, listen, man. I don't know if you want me to go into my defense. I don't know if you want me to go into the Ohio State West Kentucky game because the defense, Bryce. Listen, man. That defense, Bryce, is something to behold. And I want to read this to you real quick because a lot of people have had a lot to say about JTT and Jack Sawyer. Okay, there's been a lot of negative things to say about these guys. In our secondary over the past few years. I want to read this to you. And these are the Big Ten rankings for our defense. Pass defense 1. Rush defense 4. Michigan's at 3. Points allowed 2. Michigan's at 1. This defense, Bryce. I'll wait till Thursday. I'll wait till Wednesday, Thursday. I'll wait.
Thank you.
Time to shock the world. It's time to shock the world. But yes, Bryce.
Well,
I want you.
shock the
What are your
world.
thoughts on Kyle now? What are your thoughts on Kyle?
Well, real quick, you just said shock the world. Thoughts and prayers. Dron Howard surgery last week. Heart surgery. Did you hear that? I think he's doing all right now. Thoughts and prayers. Let's acknowledge. Fair. I know you don't like him.
I'm not allowed to. Okay, never mind.
Well, God, what in God's goodness would you? I don't want to hear your disgusting thoughts.
Hey, no. But I pray nothing but peace and prosperity on his life.
Good man, an honorable man. My JJ Heisman ticket probably is not going to cash as a result of this game.
Probably.
Probably. Hey, never say never. We don't know, but probably not going to cash.
Okay.
But I think he's going to bounce back. I think it's so
he won't
clear.
Play like that again. He won't play like that.
No, he won't. He won't. All of those mistakes are not the result of a bad quarterback. It's the result of trying to do too freaking much.
Which he has a history of.
And I think this is the game to bring it back down to earth. So I thought our run game, here's the other thing you have to acknowledge. You called out the run game last week. They had no problem running the ball. Again,
they did good this week. They
did. And here's the last thing I'll say on the game. All you young buck Michigan fans, all you guys that are maybe still in high school, maybe in college still, I'm not putting up, I saw a tweet, so I'm kind of taking this line, but I also have felt this. I'm not putting up with your complaining when we dealt with the Rich Rod and the Hoke era. Okay?
Talk about it.
If we're complaining about a 25-point win, even though the spread was 40, which the spreads are kind of frustrating me how it deems success for teams. Again, whether fair or not, it's happening, especially happening with Michigan because we haven't covered the 30+ point spreads. Yeah. But it's 25-point win, dominant performance. The stats, again, I forgot to do this. I'm going to take a screenshot at the start of the fourth. It was not even, it was just complete domination. If we're complaining about this and we've got a quarterback who's lost one game as a starter, who has lost 3 games over the course of his career that he's played in, if we're complaining about him, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and maybe look at some history and go from 2008 to 2014 and maybe reevaluate some things. So that's all I'll say to them. Last thing I'll say is, without getting in, I got a few other thoughts, but guess who scored again? Guess who has the most touchdowns in college football right now? Receiving touchdowns.
Say it. Go ahead and say it, Bryce.
Roman Wilson, baby. 6 tuds. I just keep tabs in my tape.
And Bryce, and no one would mistake him as a top 5 wide receiver.
We're on. You say it now. Say it now. Again, I'm taking receipts. Say it now.
He'd be the 3rd wide receiver at Ohio State. He'd be the 3rd wide receiver at Washington.
How bad do you look on that that Michigan State pick?
Bro, listen, man. I tried to hold out some, man. Listen, I have a weird thing for Michigan State where I think it's because D'Antonio. And for anyone that doesn't know it, for all you young bucks that don't know this, Mark D'Antonio is a Buckeye. Mark D'Antonio is one of the He's one, Bryce. He was the defensive coordinator of the 2002
That's right.
National Championship team.
He did coach there. I forgot about that.
He has something that Jim Harbaugh ain't sniffed. So, but man, State, damn it.
Garrison, you held my feet to the fire. You said,
if they beat Washington, are you now on alert?
They're not going to beat Washington.
And that's not what I asked you. If they beat Washington, are you on alert?
I'm smashing Washington -16, smashing it with everything.
You're not answering my question. You're walking away from me because you're scared of Mark D'Antonio.
Wow. I can't even imagine that happening. I said, I'm going to smash Washington -16, and I did. I smashed it. And that game was over 2 drives in. Maybe, actually, it was probably over before the game started, honestly.
No, Washington did their best impression of Ohio State. I like it. I also do want to say this. I am very impressed by how your secondary has held up with the injuries they have had. I'm very impressed by that. I think Keon Sabb has a bright future at Michigan.
Yes.
I really do believe that.
Yes. Yeah, the amount of minutes he's played and the lineups he's been in, I mean, starting, but then still getting meaningful reps all throughout the game.
I'll be honest
Promising.
with you. If I'm the coach, the position coach, I understand Rob Moore is one of the best safeties in the Big Ten. I get it. But I'm going to say the same thing I said when Dallin Hayden was going off. When someone is hot, you don't take him out.
I agree.
You don't. But that's just my 2 cents. So.
Well, Makari Page came back this last week too. So that's the 2 starting safeties, assuming Rod Moore will be back next week. You're right, man. You got to get number 3 in the game. Stuff. All right, so Kyle McCord, yeah, he looked good, but I think the key though, because I watched the first half of that game, and then after that, I got other games on that I wanted to watch more, and I tuned in and out. But give the ball to 32. Oh my gosh, just give
Bryce. Who said it? Who?
I don't know how of a take that is to give it to your third year 5-star.
Bryce, I heard you talk down on him.
I never said a word about Travion Henderson. Never.
Maybe not, but I've heard a lot of Michigan fans talk down on him, and people thought I was crazy when I said, when healthy, Blake Corum is not just the best running back in the Big Ten. That's not a thing. Like I said, it's like people forgot what Trey did his freshman year. He set records at Ohio State. And Bryce, boy, that kid is, if he was getting the ball like your running backs did last year right now, we'd be calling him the best running back in the country. Because coming out of his freshman year, people were saying that is the best running back in the country. They were saying that about him.
Yeah, he's a good back.
13 carries, 88 yards, 2 tugs.
I thought he opened up the offense for McCord, and that's like the beauty of football.
Yeah,
real fans know that you get the run game going, the rest of the offense opens up, and you just saw that. And you guys had a monster second quarter. Was it Penn State last year? The third quarter? When was the Penn State unraveling?
It was the third quarter when they unwrapped.
Okay. It was like that. It was just, and that was it. My analysis of that too was also that Western Kentucky wants to throw the ball, go, and then they would go for it on 4th downs, and
in
so
their
they
own
would
territory.
in their own territory. Yeah, and so that set you guys up to again just give the ball to 32, which once he had 2 touchdowns, that opens up the rest of the field for McCord. So yeah, I'll give McCord credit for sure. But I thought the key to that game, and I think this key to your season, is that big O-line and 32.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
I had posted 2 pictures with descriptions of what happened on 2 touchdowns, Bryce. That O-line, just like I would say for Michigan's O-line, they finally had a good game, like an overall good game. Guys were, act like they had brains, and I was really happy to see that. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 receptions, 126 yards. Has your wide receiver, your Roman, has he gone over 100 yards in a game yet?
He's not.
He hasn't yet?
He also hasn't played the 3rd and 4th quarters.
I was just curious. That's all. I was just curious.
I'm just saying.
Cade Stover had another 90-yard game. That's going under the radar right now. He's actually playing better than Brock Bowers. I'm not gonna say it, but technically he's playing better than Brock Bowers. Look, man, the best player on the team right now is Burke. His freshman year, Bryce, that kid was an freshman All-American. And then last year, I don't know what happened. But he struggled. And man, the way he's playing right now, he is. Will Johnson still has to get on the field, and Kalen King is still playing like how he's playing. Kool-Aid McKinstry got torn up the other week, so yeah, he's out of it. But right now, Burke is playing like one of the top 5 deep corners in football right now. I want to say sorry still changes.
Okay, a public apology. PSA.
Listen, man. Yeah, a lot of us want to see the young guy, right? Because we're very excited about him. Still made a play in that game, Bryce. I don't know if a lot of guys can make, where he's coming left back to coming inside to push off to touch a receiver. The ball is thrown. He breaks right away. And sometimes I forget the dude was a running back. It ain't like he's not athletic. He's more athletic than your average linebacker. But yeah, man. I mean, Tommy Eichenberg still playing like a All-American. This team is getting better week by week. They're getting better week by week.
I will say one concern I do have about Michigan is the fact that our second team offense has scored 0 points. That is concerning. So
Bryce, I asked someone about that and said, no, I'm not worried about that. I said, wait, you're not worried at all about your second team not moving the ball? And like, no. I'm like, all right.
It's just and obviously the second team's not getting the full playbook, and we've rotated quarterbacks. To not have the offensive line get a push on these inferior opponents, defensive lines and front sevens, I'm not worried, but that'd be one thing I'm disappointed in the first 3 games. So, All right, week 3 in the books. I expected a little more fire from you on JJ. The Pulp Fiction quote was pretty good. I'll give you that one.
Bryce, listen. I don't have to say anything else about JJ. I tweeted this out. If there's 2 things that JJ is one. I'm sorry. If there's one thing that JJ McCarthy goes with, it's 2 first half picks. Those 2 things are a perfect match in heaven. That's something that he just does on command. My goodness.
No, he doesn't. He does not.
Bryce, everything he does comes in 2s. Like Michigan State his freshman year, fumbling twice in a row. Everything he does comes in 2s. Everything.
But
so
he threw 3 picks, so that whole stupid situation is thrown out the window.
Well, wow, Bryce, 3. You made it so much better. And like I said, man, listen, JJ, listen, that's probably gonna be the worst game he plays in his whole life. Okay, or probably collegiately.
Thank you.
But everyone sat here and told me that I was crazy to believe that. I said, listen, I guess by default you can call JJ the best quarterback in the Big Ten, but I think we should hold out and wait and see that. And Bryce, I think you would agree with this 3 weeks in, because you would agree also, even you were speaking highly on JJ after playing nobodies, and I gave him credit. 3 games in, Bryce, mind you, I think we've had the tougher schedule. Technically, Kyle has played better than JJ. Now, maybe it's because of the 1 game, but Kyle's best game is better than JJ's, and that's fact. That is complete fact.
Yeah. Well, neither quarterback has played a full game, so let's just hold off. The whole who's the best quarterback right now, I guess that's a fun conversation. But like the preseason thing,
yeah,
like that's
you know what I saw on Twitter, Bryce? I saw it was a few times. I saw Michigan fans saying maybe he's literally saying this, Bryce. I think they might have been looking ahead, huh?
Big bad Rutgers, man.
Bro, wow. That's what you guys look ahead to now.
Is there anything to be said though that I think it was a funky week? Georgia was down 11 at half. Florida State almost lost to Boston College. Michigan and Texas, both slow starts. Bama, which, boy, there's a lot of conspiracy theories coming out of Tuscaloosa right now about that game.
That's one of the worst quarterback rooms in college football. And yes, I'll say it on here live, Bryce. Or not live, but recording. There were guys in that team that mailed it in. Call it what it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. So if that dude,
but I want to give you a rebuttal. Central Michigan ain't South Carolina.
you talking about who Notre Dame played?
Huh?
You talking about who
Not
Notre Dame?
Central Michigan, Bryce. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Notre Dame. You guys played. My
Bowling
God,
Green.
who you guys play?
The Falcons.
The Falcons. Thank you, Bowling Green. That ain't South Carolina with Spencer Rattler. Florida State lost their quarterback. Who else did you bring up? You said
Texas.
I can't. I don't know.
No, that's good. That Wyoming's a good team, and they came off a huge win. I told you, Wyoming plus the points is the pick.
Let me ask you a question. This wasn't on our docket, but this was something I actually feel strongly about. What did you think about that hit on Travis Hunter?
I 100% agree with you. People are falling in love with Prime and Colorado. And yeah, that was a nasty hit, deserved a flag, probably deserved to maybe get kicked out of the game. But the response and the death threats he's getting is so unbelievably unacceptable and disgusting. It's ridiculous. But go ahead.
I saw a guy. Listen, man. Josh Pate brought this up, and it's something that I've always really agreed with. I'm sorry that I fully agree with. The other side, there's a great side of Coach Prime, okay? Coaching football at Colorado. The negative side is that you have a bunch of people that don't know a doggone thing about football talking football.
Yep.
And guys saying the NCAA should suspend him for the years. They should kick him off the team. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed in Arlen Gaddy because we had this conversation and he didn't agree with me. And I told him, I said, you know what? It's crazy to me. I remember watching Mike Doss at Ohio State and Dustin Fox at Ohio State knocking guys' heads off. I remember watching Sean Taylor knock guys' heads off. I remember watching Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, who else kind of named Bryce? Taylor Mays. I saw Taylor Mays knock out a Penn State wide receiver and his own teammate.
We did. We played that clip on here.
And you guys want to sit and Bryce, we love it. We love it. And it's like people and people, it's like people forget the point of defense is intimidation. And it's not always pretty. It can be dirty. It is. Yeah, he put that shoulder in his ribs. He did it. Was it unnecessary? Yeah. But you know what's gonna happen now, Bryce? The next time you run that route down this sideline, and you know that I'm coming over the top, alligator arms, you're scared. It's called intimidation. It's the sport. A lot of people, and I saw another guy tweet this out. Have you ever been in a dog pile and seen and you don't know what goes on? You have no idea. So many people have no idea the type of crap that goes on in a dog pile.
Right. Yeah, and you kind of get an idea with the high quality cameras now, but even so, man, when there's eight
Bryce,
people,
no, they don't know. No,
yeah,
those cameras don't pick that up.
When there's 8 people like on top of each other, yeah, you're right. The guys at the bottom, you have no idea what's going on.
And I mean, Bryce, I'll just say, I remember a few years ago, Bryce, when Clemson played Ohio State, and you had Clemson players poking these Ohio State players in the butt with their fingers, bro.
I don't remember that.
Bryce, and it was clearly on TV. You know what happened even worse in that game, Bryce? Yeah, it was nasty, Bryce. You know what happened even worse? You saw what Shedeur Sanders did, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you're just liberally going out of your way to poke a guy in his eyes, right? If a dude did that to me on the field, Bryce, I'm taking your head off.
Yeah, I think Shedeur lost some fans this week too. His antics are kind of annoying.
No, it is. And like I said, I'm a Cowboy. I love Coach Prime. I love Shedeur Sanders. I like Showers at DB, so I like everything that's going on there. But it's the problem that two people are getting too close to the situation that's happening there. And it's aggravating because you got people who don't know football talking football. And they have never been in the trenches of a game. They don't know. I've told you this, Bryce. To play football, you had to have a screw loose. And why? Because at the end of the day, you know what football is about? It's about hitting people. And you got to want to hit people. It's legalized violence.
Yeah.
Or did you guys all forget that? Did you guys all forget that? Come on.
I think I get what you're saying. I think it's even more of like that was a dirty play.
Yeah.
But and there should have been a flag. And I think you can even blame the coach for that, because I think you'll agree with this. I bet you the coaches, the position coaches, defense coordinators were saying, hey, if you can put an extra stick on somebody, do it. And that was
Bryce, how many? Wait. That's normal.
That's normal. Yeah. For the reasons that you just said, the next time that guy goes across the middle or is trying to run under a fade route, he's going to be thinking to himself, oh, there's some missile coming at me.
Yeah.
And you're right. That is football. And part of that, they've tried to remove from the game. I think that's good. But at the end of the day, to sit here and get mad at the kid, send the death threats, and the Colorado State Police Department's had to come out and they have investigations and stuff. Like, come on, people. That's disgusting. It's despicable. It's unacceptable to do that. This is football. All right. Hey, real quick. Real quick. Before that, tough week for us. 2-3. We'll be back though. We'll be back. Losing record. It's always a down week. You always get one in season.
Hey, but we're over 500, which is like Vegas territory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're making money. We're making money. Hey, give people a shout of the show you're going to be on this week.
Oh yeah, man. So I'll be joining the Maze Madman on Wednesday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be there with those other guests talking Notre Dame and Ohio State. It's gonna be awesome. Please tune in. Tomorrow we'll drop the link from myself, Bryce's, and the SBS page on Twitter, Facebook. Man, I mean, we'll put the link. We might as well put the link under the video here. It'll be everywhere, guys. Instagram, it'll be everywhere. So please tune in. It's gonna be awesome. And I'll say it again, Bryce. I don't care if that game is in St. Peter's Square with the Pope watching. They're gonna need a gallon of holy water when they play Ohio State.
All right. That's a good plug. All right. More to come next episode. We'll dive in. I'm excited.
Man, you have no idea.
All right, brother.
All right, see ya.